Il me semble que ce matin le soleil est un peu moins.
I think the biggest risk would be to wake up at 90 years old and look back and realize I never did anything. I had an idea and I didn't take the shot.
Il me semble que ce matin le soleil peine à colorer le ciel.
There's a reason the classics are called that. You know, my grandmother and my mother were both in fashion and very, very big influences to me. They're both Retta Jane. So my grandmother was first Retta Jane, then my mother, and I am also Retta Jane, so hence the name of the business. My grandmother owned an antique store. My mother was big in design. When I look at some of the old pictures of my grandmother and my mother, I laugh because I'm wearing the exact same things that they were. I mean, kind of the same person generations apart. The things that they passed down in their wardrobe still are relevant today. Looking at these pieces that were designed in the 40s and the 60s and the 80s, they're quality made, they're beautifully cut, and those were the inspiration for most of what Retta Jane is. You know, these ideas come from just pieces I've loved over the years. That's where it starts, and then getting it in the studio, kind of either physically breaking them apart and breaking them down, but sometimes it'll start with a great fabric that we find, a great color scheme. Maybe that's been in my mind for a while, or I'll jot notes down and go back to them. The nuts and bolts keep me up, you know. Did we need another inch on that hem? Was that good? Was that the right button and the right thread? It's usually one little aspect that can launch the whole collection. I think clothing can instill confidence in you, even if it's subconsciously. When you look good, you feel good. When something's well made and tailored for your body, you have a different spring in your step. That's what I want to give these girls that are already in a very precarious time in their lives. You know, how can I, even subtly, give them a little bit more confidence to go out there and be their own selves? The little girls that I would interview, they would say, nobody designs for me. They're either designing for my little sister or they're designing for my teenage cousin, but nobody's thinking about me. And I just thought that was so interesting that these girls were themselves identifying like nobody thinks that we matter. It's a risk to go in on such a fine, detailed part of the market, but I think there's a lot of value in doing that. And I think to know that somebody is taking the time to design for you and whoever you are, you know, it could be the tomboy, it could be the girly girl, but to know that somebody's designing specifically for you and thinking of you, I think that matters. I mean, I think it matters for a little girl to know that she is seen, especially at that point in time. I really became emotional when we had our first photo shoot and I saw the first girls in our outfits. I mean, that was very powerful to me to know that this work that I've been, you know, I had my hands on now for so many years has finally come to life, and to see the expression on the girls' faces and see them dancing around in the outfits and to know that it fit well and they felt good in it. I left in tears, happy, very happy tears, and I was elated. I mean, it was just a very powerful moment to know that, you know, I set out to do something, to create these garments and to fill this void, that no matter what happens from here on out, in a way I've done it. My grandmother's generation to my mom, Retta Jane it's the next iteration of our family in a way. It's this beautiful legacy we're leaving to every girl.